All right, we are back. Colette coming back to you with the Women's Leadership Forum live. I am so happy. I'm happy just because it's Friday.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
Friday, y'all. Thank gosh, it's Friday. We are here. We made it. We made it through the week. For some, it was a difficult week. For others, it was an amazing week. Um, for others, it was a trying week. But you know what? We're here. We're live. We're coming at you with talk.
Yeah.
And I want to welcome those who haven't seen us. I want to welcome those who are new to the platform to let you know that this is a platform for the Women's Leadership Forum. And I'm your host, Colette Coakley. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources for Maryland Public Television and the founder of the Women's Leadership Forum. And a little bit about myself. I've been doing HR for almost 25 years. That's a long haul. I'm proud of it. I'm a
Yeah.
people person. I'm an advocate for people in general, and especially an advocate for women. I like to advocate for women. And I want to say right now, thank goodness for Angela Marshall, who has been following us faithfully as a viewer, as a supporter of the Women's Leadership Forum. She has attended in the past. And what I want to say to Angela out there, we got to have you on here. We got to have, because I want to know. Angela is the owner of an internet radio station. And Angela helped us to start out from the beginning, and I want to invite her to be a guest on this podcast broadcast at some point in time because I just love Angela and Angela's spirit. I know that she just exudes her love for Baltimore, her love for the city, and I know that this is shown um, in more places than just Baltimore.
Mhm.
But because I'm in Baltimore, I'm gonna show some love. Also, as much as it is paining me, it is paining me. I'm gonna tell you, ladies out there, for me to say what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
Some of you all know me from way back when, and you all know that I'm from Buffalo. Okay, and we all know who's playing this weekend, right?
That's right. The Ravens against the Buffalo Bills.
It's the Ravens against the Buffalo Bills. And I had some consternation about who I was going to root for. I still
Woo-hoo.
ain't going to tell y'all. So I'm going to continue to tell you that despite the obstacles that you may face, and it may be you don't know who to root for, I can't help you with that. But I'm going to get you closer through the Women's Leadership Forum because there are so many women in the Women's Leadership Forum. There are over 1,000 women who receive our newsletter. There are 500 women that were in attendance last year at our live forum. These women are awesome. They have stepped up to the plate to make the Women's Forum what it is today. And that is a source, a resource, and a source for you. If
Mhm.
you go to our webpage, and I'm trying to get there, if you go to our webpage, which is forward, WLF.org, or you're using, if you're searching, you use the hashtag forward, WLF, you can see all the resources that we have for you. If you want to know about banking, if you want to know about housing, if you want to know, you want to be connected to coaching, or if you just want to know what the favorite podcasts are, we are that resource. And we're using our website as a source for which you can go to on your own and at your leisure discover what your next best thing is. Okay? Some of us we don't know. We haven't discovered what that is. Some of us already know, and we're trying to get to that next level, right? And so what does the I don't even have a name right. Women's Leadership Forum. Women's Leadership Forum. What does that provide? It provides you resources. It also is a safe space for you to have a voice. So I'm saying that to say we are coming to you not only on this platform, but we have a 3-day event that takes place March 18, 19, and 20. Some of you all are slow to buy the tickets, right? But that's okay, because they remain on sale all the way up until the day of the event. Okay, March 18, 19, and 20, we have a 3-day event that's virtual. We're on a platform called Hop In. What does that mean to you? You can hop in and you can hop out. Hop in and hop out of the events in that platform of your choice. So many of you all have experienced our workshops. The workshops, we have 13, 14, 15 workshops that you can choose to be in one workshop for 20 minutes and go to the next workshop. But we have 3 hours worth of workshops that you can participate in. And this year, I'm also proud to say that we have both a grand keynote speaker in April Ryan, who's a White House news correspondent and now the bureau desk chief for the GRIO. And we have Sheila Murphy of Murphy's Law, who is our moderator. So I'm inviting you all to come to the table because we have plenty to serve up to you. And if you need to meet a friend, if you need to meet somebody who is going to help you get to the next level, I'm telling you, the Women's Forum is the place to be. Now, speaking of people who you might need to know, I have a guest that's on today's show who is more than just a speaker, an author, a coach, and the owner of TruSynergy. But I'm also proud to say that Miss Ericka Sallee is somebody that you need to know to help you get to the next level. So whether it's on your job or whether it's personally, she is somebody that you need to know. And what I want to say about that is that I am proud to know Miss Ericka Sallee. And I welcome Miss Sallee to the Women's Leadership Forum live platform. Welcome, Ericka.
Thank you so much, Colette. Listen, I'm excited to be here. When you said TGIF, I held up my glass because I'm celebrating. Yeah. Listen, you said, knowing you is just such a blessing to me because I'm thinking about all the things you said about the Women's Leadership Forum and just the amazing connections that you make in that space, but the opportunity to grow if that's what you desire. And I'm a testament to the fact that being in the space with you over the last few years has definitely allowed me to grow. It's allowed my business to grow. And so I'm excited to spend this Friday night with you, sis.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Ericka. So I'm looking back and we really didn't have this Facebook Live platform, but I'm really using this platform to reach out to people and let them know what the Women's Forum is and let them know about the conversations that women have and women want to know about and about themselves. On Monday is designed to talk about health and wellness and to do some things about our health and our wellness. And Wednesday is workforce development. right? We talk about our careers, we talk about the economy, we talk about budgeting and finance, we talk about elevating ourselves in our communities. And then on Friday, Friday is my free for all day. Friday is what, not that I don't mind talking about that, and I semi mind about the exercising, but I like Fridays because it is a community of women that we have um, uh, on this particular platform that we could just talk about us or us and up in here, as I like to say. So I don't really have a script, and I want the audience to know it. I just like to talk like we're talking in my home, or we're talking in your home, or we're talking when we go out to have dinner.
Yeah.
And I did let you know that this month's focus was on weight, whether we're talking about our own weight, right? And weight, I mean, in terms of pounds, and trying to move the pounds, because every year we make some kind of declaration about our pounds and our weight, or whether we've decided not to wait to do something, and we're going to move forward in our careers or in our lives. But this weight today, I think we need to talk about getting some of that weight off of our mind. And, your background, you have a psychology background and a coaching background. And okay, even if we went back to the beginning of 2020, I'm going to say some names out loud, like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and there's so many others, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about, what's happening with our policing system, what's happening in our government, in our country, what's happening health-wise. I have, one of our sponsors that's come to us, Fulton Bank, who's one of our main sponsors, tell me just this week, 6 people that have surrounded her have passed away, right? Some of it due to COVID. And then today, my husband was telling me, one of his colleagues, the wife died, the father died, and now the son was murdered yesterday. And so there's just a lot that's going on in people's heads that they can't grab a hold of. And so here's my question to you. There is so much going on that even the therapists need therapists.
Yes.
How do you even approach some of this that's going on in today's world?
So, this is such a timely question, Colette, because on Monday, I was feeling the weight. When 2021 came, we were so eager to get rid of 2020 because it had so much in it. The pandemic, we had social unrest, we had, everything from Kobe Bryant on down the list, right? And so Monday, and then of course, here we are last week, what happened at the Capitol, and Monday I'm feeling this angst, just kind of thinking about everything that was happening. And by the end of the evening, I was feeling that weight. Now, I'm a woman who has no problem saying faith is my foundation. I believe in God. And I just felt like, what in the world have we come to? And I just felt it. And if you recall, I sent you a message and I said, I'm just calling on those that I know to just take 8:00 p.m. If you can do it at 8:00 p.m. Eastern, do it. If you can't do it then, find the time to just stop and pray. Because I could feel that weight and that heaviness, and I knew that I needed a way to release it. So for me, that's part of it. That's the main part of it, is going to prayer and spending some time in meditation. However, we tend to think as Christians, or whatever your spiritual belief is, that that's all you have to do. I believe
Right.
God connects you with people and the circle and the spaces to have conversation, which is why I reached out. And so we have to find those outlets. Sometimes it's as simple as picking up the phone and calling somebody to say, "Ooh, man, I got a lot on my mind. I need to get this off my chest, right? Out of
Mm-hmm.
my head." It doesn't mean that the problem is going to be solved. It doesn't mean that we still don't have the threats that we have, even as you and I speak right now. But it just means we start to deposit that energy in places that are healthier out than being in. So for me, it's prayer. Two, is connecting with people who can understand in a moment of empathy that there's something that I need to get past this point that I'm in. And hopefully reciprocating that to others who feel like that's a step that they can take. Now, there's other things too, there's therapy and all that kind of stuff, which we sometimes shy away from, thinking that, oh, no, I don't do that. Okay, well, we can talk about that too. But we got to let it go, right? We got to find a way to release, even if it doesn't solve the issue immediately, but that's just a first step.
So, many people, we talked about this actually on Angela's broadcast. We talked about, mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to quite go there in
Right.
talking about mental illness. What I do want to talk about are, the title is Waiting to Exhale.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're holding your breath,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, your inhale can manifest itself in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the ways that can uh, come out? What do you see sometimes as it manifesting, the fact that all of these things that we are encountering and doing? Because um, sometimes, particularly in the Black communities, we say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you'll get over it,"
Mm.
right?
That's the worst thing we can.
Or I've had people, actually, I've seen people break out in hives,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So have you seen others, as a result of them holding all of this in, all of the things in, have you seen others express themselves, or I don't know, their inhale
Mm-hmm.
of all of what is happening manifests itself in different ways?
Yeah, and it can range from the most subtle to the most extreme. I mean, so for instance, there are times when I can feel myself holding my breath, and it's just like you feel it here in your chest, and you start feeling this tightness up in your shoulders. Sometimes even like in your head, your temples start to throb, and it's like, wait a minute. And the moment you release that breath, it's like it almost like resets and recalibrates your body.
Mhm.
So from those little like tight moments to your heart pounding really quickly. Now I'm not a doctor,
Yeah.
but you know the simple act of intentional breathing, like making sure that you're taking those inhales and letting that breath out, like releases the tension in your shoulders. And if you don't do it, if you're holding that breath in, then you could potentially be leading yourself into some other more extreme health problems, whether it's and again, I'm not a doctor, but if you're not regulating that breath, then there's heart issues, there's other kinds of lung functioning and all that kind of stuff. So your body is going to respond in different ways, and sometimes it's just that little subtle motion of, oh, wait a minute, I'm holding my breath and that feels uncomfortable, to something that's even more severe. And that's what we want to avoid, right? And so it's important for us to understand like what's happening in our body. And sometimes we're so on the go in a rhythm of just doing, 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 that we don't even stop to recognize how important something as simple as intentional breathing is for our well-being.
Okay. So you mentioned this intentional breathing. I did see you take like this huge breath.
Mm-hmm.
before the glass of wine.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
how,
Can't forget that.
how do we take this breath? How
Okay.
how do we take this breath?
So here's what I do, and this is what I say to people. So if you could just like sit and just, sometimes you close your eyes, you don't. I prefer to close my eyes and just take a minute and just take, and you can do it like do a count of 4. So if you inhale and exhale, and in your head you're counting like on 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you inhale and exhale. And literally, when you're exhaling, you're pushing that breath out. Almost like if you imagine in your head that you can see the breath, like as you're exhaling, you just push it out, and you see almost like you see this little imaginary thing like pushing down through your body. And as you do that, lowering your shoulders because you're loosening where that tension sometimes sits. And that's
Oh,
something you can do all throughout the day. You don't need nobody to tell you to do it. You don't have to pay
okay.
for it. You just do it.
So when you said that, that made me also think of like, when people are getting ready to talk, or when they're getting ready to, they have a moment in which they're trying to speak to their bosses,
Uh-huh.
or they have a speech to give,
Mm-hmm.
that's a moment in which they could take that breath,
Mm-hmm.
just like you're mentioning, to
Mm-hmm.
get themselves to release some of the tension.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is. It's like a lot of tension that's
Yep.
bottled up, to release some of that tension that they're
Mm-hmm.
feeling, taking
Mm-hmm.
that, and you're saying on with a count of 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as you
Yeah.
inhale, you're counting in your head. As you exhale, you're pushing it out. And literally like pushing hard, like just letting that breath flow. And it's like a reset button, like when in a heightened state, oh my gosh, I got to give this speech, oh my gosh, I got to have this conversation, so your mind and your body is racing, and it's like, oh wait, let me take a breath. It's a reset, and you may have to do it a couple times, right, to just, it's almost like, how we were talking about, before the show started, our exercise regimen. And during an exercise regimen, you should like warm up, right, to get your body warm and get your muscles
Yeah.
moving. And
Yeah.
then if you do like intense cardio or whatever it is, well, when the workout is over, you should cool down, and it just kind of resets your body. So this is the same way. So in the height of, oh my gosh, I got to do this. Oh my gosh, look at what's happening all around me. Taking that moment to just reset your mind, your body, your spirit through breath is a powerful tool. And I don't know that we know just how powerful it is until we start doing it.
Okay, so let's talk about something else. I want to
Uh-huh.
talk about something else, because
Mm-hmm.
I like promoting people, and I like promoting women. That's what I said I do, and so I'm going to do it.
You do.
Okay. Um, I'm glad to know an author. Ericka has a powerful book here called Pathway to Purpose, right? Find it, follow it, fulfill it. And so I would like for Ericka just to give us like a little, just a smidgen, because you all should buy the book. Support a sister here.
Appreciate
Buy
that.
the book, but give us what this book is really trying to tell us without giving away the whole book.
Okay. Mm. Okay. So here is ooh, there's, so let me step back and say what's the headline. Really, here's the deal. I wrote this book because, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share. But I wrote it because I was at a point in my life where there was clearly some changes happening for me, and I wanted to try to figure out what am I supposed to do? Like what is my calling? What am I here for? I'm just kind of going through the motions, doing what I got to do. It just doesn't feel like it resonates with me. So I took some time to kind of step back and look at some key focal points in my life that I felt led me to determining that, you know what, I'm supposed to help women figure out how to find their best, how to be their best. And so I tell the story through 9 different chapters. And it's intended to say that everything that happens in our lives, number one, is for a purpose. The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, everything in between. And so through these stories that I'm telling, I'm sharing with the reader, here is how I discovered what I'm supposed to do. And if you decide to pick up this book and read it, pick it up, it's on Amazon. I want you to not only see my stories and how I got to determining what my purpose is, but I'm hoping that you can connect your story to what you see in the or read in the book and have the desire to figure out what you're supposed to do on this earth, because we all have a purpose. And sometimes it's hidden behind fear and doubt and, you know, old relationships and stuff from the past and all kinds of stuff. And we have to push through that in order to figure out, you know, what are we supposed to do that's meaningful and fulfilling? And that's really what the book is about. Is my stories about how I got to that point and hoping that others will discover theirs too.
So, you know, you're a coach, and not everybody understands what coaches do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's an athletic coach, there's a therapist, there's a mentor, there's mentees, but help us understand what coaches do.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. The one thing I'll say is coaches don't necessarily tell you what to do. They will help you to discover what you should do through strategies and tools that they provide. So I provide tools and strategies to my clients, but it's provoking them to think about how to use those strategies in order to make the shifts that they need. I say to people, I'm not a therapist. If someone, you know, has a conversation with me and I can sense that there's a deeper level of trauma and perhaps trauma therapy that's needed, I will graciously, you know, exit that opportunity, because that's not what I do. That's not my gift. But my gift is helping people to figure out what's the roadblock. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got that. Now here's some strategies. How do you think you can use those in order to move you forward? So coaching, and I consider it a partnership. I know that might, you know, not, some people might not, but because I am working with a client, and as long as they're willing to put in the work, then that's where the partnership piece comes in. So, you know, we're not prescribing you know, any kind of medication or anything like that, but it is simply helping others to see in themselves what they may not see otherwise.
Okay, so we talked just a little bit about your book. We talked about, you know, the coaching aspect. And, you know, a lot of people out here are feeling frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling frustrated. One, you can't do anything about what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
3, I might be in line. The majority of us might be in line for getting a vaccine if we choose to do so. And and a lot of us still deciding on whether to do it or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're also feeling frustrated in the systems that we participate in,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the job, right? Whether it's the job, whether it's the country.
Yeah.
People still looking for, some of us still looking for the stimulus checks. Some of us not.
Looking for a while.
Yeah. And so, you know, how is, I know it's not universal because everyone is different, but is there something that you could give us that helps us to, I know that you said, you know, praying is a source, but is there something more more cerebral, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Cerebral might not be the right word, but
No.
that we can do, that we could try, that gets us, that releases some of that frustration, that helps us to release frustration. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some of us go out here and do the yoga, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that helps. And
Mm-hmm.
some of us, exercise or run a mile, and that releases some of the endorphins that we have. But you know, what do we do? Because
Well,
while the
yeah.
title says waiting to exhale, exhaling might not do it for everybody,
Yeah, no. I mean, and it's a great question. And so, of course, the things that you mentioned, like exercise is a great tool. The other thing that I think is very important is connecting with the right people. You know, you might have one person, or maybe you have two or three friends that you can say, hey, can we connect? Maybe it's once a week. I have a group of friends, there's three of us. Every Sunday we connect. And sometimes it is just being able to say how you feel. And so that's a human connection. Okay. Prayer is the spiritual connection, but connecting with someone, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your sister, your best friend, but figuring out who in your space can be that source of support for you. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, journaling is also a good source. Sometimes when we write our thoughts down just to kind of get
Mhm.
it out of our head, it's a
Mhm.
different place to deposit the energy as opposed to internally, which can do damage, as we just talked about. One of the other things that I do on a regular basis is also just writing gratitudes, right? Specifically writing down, and it doesn't have to be a book. Journaling can be like, pages and pages of stuff getting out. Gratitudes are just little quick snippets. Oh my goodness, you know what? Went to Starbucks and somebody paid for my Starbucks. That's a gratitude. And I write those down on little slips of paper, put them in a jar. That's a way to connect you with the positive and kind of takes your focus off of the negative things that are happening around us. That's another option. And then the other thing I would say, and I guess this is sort of like along the lines of talking to someone. I will say this again. Sometimes therapy is a good option because you're speaking to someone who may not necessarily be a friend or family member, but someone who is a neutral, objective person. For you to just let that go, that's an option. But I think for me right now, what I'm seeing is the biggest way to move through this is having conversations with people, talking about how you feel. And
Mhm.
sometimes, in the conversation, you might even say, hey, listen, I'm not looking for a solution because I don't know that any of us have the solution, especially with the things that are happening around us right now. But I just need to vent. I just need to get it. Those are, just some quick things that I think make a world of difference.
Yeah. I say do something silly.
Oh yeah,
Find
it was.
something.
Well, and it's funny, and I'm glad you said that because laughter is good medicine. Playing games, right? Like if you have kids, like my children, we play games all the time. Played Uno with my son last night, and I beat him. Haven't beat him in a while, and I got real excited.
You beat your
And we,
son?
I did, but they always beat me, and so when I beat him,
Okay.
I was
Okay.
so happy about that. I like, yes. So doing something, and as we've been talking about, watching movies, like
Yeah.
movies that are silly that you don't have to stop and think a whole lot about, movies that have a whole lot of little, okay,
Little
hashtag
stuff.
Bridgerton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't
That's
help
a
it.
different hashtag.
I
That's a
I
different
know. I just
hashtag.
had to go there. Ooh, let me take a sip.
So, yeah, because there's one movie that we were like really stuck on right now. Go ahead, tell them what it is.
It's Bridgerton. If y'all haven't.
Bridgerton, y'all, because if you haven't seen Bridgerton, you might want to see
Hello, Duke
Bridgerton.
Hastings. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let me just.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So
Whoa.
it's a very good, and we're gonna give shout out to Shonda Rhimes. Not that
Yeah,
she needs a shout out, but a
give it.
shout out to Shonda Rhimes because she did a wonderful job on that
Mm,
and wonderful selection of character.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
One. particular, but anyway,
Yes. Anywho, um, so what I want everybody to know is that here I appreciate Ericka. And I'm I want everybody to know who's watching. I appreciate Ericka because when the Women's Forum was just a notion, a notion in my head, it had no funding, no anything behind it, and had no organization. What Ericka helped me to do is get that thing together and to lay it out there on the line with all of her intellect. Um, and Harpreet just wrote in the chat, good laughs. We had a good laugh because we didn't had no clue of how this thing was going to be pulled off. And I needed someone to connect to that would give me the time of day. Because not everybody wants to talk about it, which is another live Women's Forum live. Everybody is not going to be on the same boat as you are going to be on when it comes to your thing.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so you have to sometimes find that friend, that one person who's going to listen to your dream and help you to row your boat. And what I want to say is row, row, row your boat. Ericka was helping me. Merrily finish out my dream. And so she has really been that partner. If this is not like the big kudos, because many of you who are in this little chat here, I'm giving shout outs to Virginia just joined us, but she doesn't know she's got a place with the Women's Leadership Forum. And Harpreet was last year's poet, and we ain't know it. But she was out there spitting out the rhymes like she was in Hamilton. And she gave us some things to talk about. So I'm giving her the big
Yep. Definitely.
She got all the snaps. Christina and her family, the J fam, they got out there. And while she joined us last year for her first time, her family has gone on and written a book that's fabulous. That's fabulous, hip hop hair, and you can get that on Amazon. So what I want to say is that the women that have come and entered the forum, not that they were, I'm making up a word. They were awesome, and they are awesome in the They are awesome in the
Yeah.
And I'm learning more and more about these women, Angela included. Following her and the guests that she is bringing on her show and how she purports to care about Baltimore and getting things done in Baltimore. I know that she's an activist in the making. I'm just waiting for her to run for somebody's office. What's the mayor's name? With the afro now?
Yes.
Byron. Come on, somebody.
I was going to say,
okay.
the mayor of Baltimore.
The mayor of Baltimore needs to put Angela on some committee if she's not on already. So I'm giving Angela the big shout out.
Colette, I need to give you a shout out.
Brandon Scott. I got it. Yes. Brandon Scott.
Let me say this. I just want to give you a shout for the creation of the Women's Leadership Forum. I think that, I would, don't even, because I know you get ready, because you don't like when people give you accolades. So don't try to cut me off, because I know you try.
I won't cut you off.
No, listen, just the vision that you had and still have to bring this to light is amazing to watch, because I remember, those times on the phone and trying to put stuff together, and the first one was amazing and the second was like, oh my gosh, and then, so here we are. So I just want to say to you that not only are you a visionary, but when you said I care about people, I can testify to the fact that that is true. Like you are that person who cares about not just knowing who somebody is, but knowing what they can bring to the table and really pushing them and bringing that out. And so I just want to wish you all the success your hand, your heart can hold, because this is an amazing platform that you have. And so many women, I'm going to say it again, so many women, you probably like, no, so many women have been and will continue to be blessed just by being connected to you and the vision that you have. So I didn't want this evening to close without saying that, because you deserve that and more.
Well, here's what I want to say. This is what friends are for. Friends, if you got good friends, they're going to be your hype woman. They're going to be your hype woman. And so for that, I appreciate you.
I know you do.
And with that, what I try to do, and it has not worked yet. I try to contain these things to 20 minutes, but it never works. So here's what I'm going to say. Ericka, you are welcome on this platform anytime. Anytime. Please come back, because we always have lots to talk about, and maybe I will have my glass in hand also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I want to give you this opportunity, because you have an event that's coming up that you need to talk about. And so please tell the audience what your event is.
Sure. So Colette talked about the book Pathway to Purpose. And so I am kicking off the next cycle of the Pathway to Purpose book club, which starts February the 27th, and runs through April the 20th. It's Saturday mornings, 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's virtual. So all you got to do is get your cup of coffee and just have conversation. This is a time when I think that, because we're trying to figure out what's happening all around us, I think this is a ripe time for each of us to dig into who we are and how we want to show up going forward. So if you're interested, there are 3 levels of enrollment in the book club. There is the general level, which if you already have a copy of the book, you can purchase your ticket at $97. If you need a copy of the book, you can purchase a general ticket at $120. I'm excited to say that you can also purchase a VIP option, which gives you not only a copy of the book and all 9 sessions of the book club, but also a 60-minute coaching session as well. So if you go to TruSynergy.org, probably about halfway down on the homepage, you will see all the details. And so I invite you to just come have conversation with me. It will be enlightening and, trust me, life-changing. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, here's what I want to tell you. I'm excited. Ericka didn't say this. I'm excited for Ericka and what she is doing. I'm excited because she rebranded, y'all. Y'all need to watch out for this. Yeah. I looked at it and I was like, what happened? This, you all need to go to the page. I'm trying to type furiously. I hit the button and it didn't do anything. What happened?
Oh, did you type TRU? You didn't put an E in it, did you? TRUSYNERG?
Yes.
.org.
Okay. Something happened. It said error occurred. But it's TRUSY NERGY. Okay, I'm gonna say it again because the cadence on that was wrong. Mm-hmm. TRUSY NERGY.org. If y'all saw me reading, that's all because that's what I do. Okay, TruSynergy.org, and you will find all the information that you need to register. Now, here's what I want to talk to my audience about registering. Y'all wait till the last minute to register.
Yeah.
That's good. But register.
Yeah.
These opportunities that we bring to you are for a reason. It's to help you. You have to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have to invest in yourself. You can't just dream it and think that it's going to come.
Yes. Say that again.
You can't dream it and think it's going to come. Mm-hmm. For the biblical scholars, faith without works is dead. And it's the working part that we oftentimes leave out. Working includes investment.
Mhm.
Working includes investment. That's not just salesmanship or
Mhm.
saleswomanship.
Mhm.
That means
That's true.
in order to create any energy, you have to move.
Mhm.
It's you have to make a movement. And some of the movement is getting the skills that you need to prepare yourself to do that next great thing.
Mhm.
The other thing is that we can't remain isolated and think that we are going to reach the next level.
Mhm. Yeah.
You actually have to meet somebody that helps you get to the next level. So even if you are making jewelry, you
Mhm.
still have to meet somebody to make a sale.
Mhm.
And I said jewelry because if you look at Ericka's jewelry, you're gonna want to know where that came from. But I'm saying in order to increase the fold, in order to get to the next level, you have to hook up with someone.
Mhm. So Colette, so to that, I love what you just said, and I think we miss that sometimes because w- we stand behind fear that keeps us from connecting with that person or that group or whatever the case may be. And
Mm,
and that's one of the biggest blocks that we have. It's like, if you know, okay, I have jewelry, or I have a program, or I have a book, or it's almost like then shy away from the very gift that we're sitting on that people need to know about. So I just wanted to echo what you're saying about, you need to know somebody or connect with somebody. So, and this is the place to do
okay.
that.
Wait a minute. So wait. So there's so much in what is being said right now. Because the other piece of this is, okay, there's mistrust in our community. And when I
Mm.
say community, I mean the women's community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Oh,
not saying the cat fighting. There we want to know, what is that person getting out of it? It's
mm-hmm.
not what are they getting out of it, it's what can you get out of it? We
Yes.
need to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
We need
Mm-hmm.
to figure that out. Not everything is going to be 100, but even if it's a tenth, it's a tenth more than you had coming in the door.
Exactly. And that's a myth that I think we have to dispel, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, if this is what is that? And that's how we keep ourselves in this scarcity mindset, right? The thought that if somebody else has it, well, it's not enough for me, or if they got it, is it shady? And kind of, we have to
Yeah.
move. Are there
Well,
some
you
bad
know my word. My word is shady.
things?
Everybody thinks everybody is shady, and we so busy trying to figure out their thing that we miss out on our own thing.
Yep, exactly.
We looking so hard at what they're doing
Hmm.
and talking so much about what the other person is doing that we end up missing out
On our own.
what could be due to us,
Yep,
right?
exactly. Hmm.
And so guess what? The whole blessing factor gets what? Skipped over.
Exactly.
We get skipped over because we actually blocked ourselves from getting it.
And then we get angry, we get frustrated, we're
Yeah, we're
resentful,
mad.
we're mad, and it's like,
Mad,
well, that's
mad,
nobody's fault but your own, because you
mad.
missed.
And then you wonder why did that person get what they got?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And so here's what I was circling back to, which was the whole getting together with someone. The emptiest room in the women's forum becomes the networking room.
Mhm.
And that's because we don't do it well. We are not risk takers enough to go up to another woman and
Yeah.
say, "Hi, my name is." We can't even get that far because guess what we did beforehand? Where did they get that dress from?
Oh, what kind of shoes she? Oh,
Who invited her?
uh-huh. Yeah.
What's she doing here?
Mm-hmm.
None of that
Or
will
the
get you a job,
it
huh?
will not. And the flip side is, or you walk into a room or space and you're like feeling like, oh wait, I'm not as good as this person, so let me not stay, or let me not walk any further, let me turn around and walk.
Yes, we are
Mm-hmm.
all worthy.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
here because we're worthy. We're worthy.
Absolutely.
And we better know if you don't know your worth, you come to the women's forum, you'll find out what your worth is. You're
Exactly.
going to find out what your worth is. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that coming to the women's forum, there's no time for that. There's no time for the jealousy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We don't have time. People say there's just not enough time to do all the things that's there. So we better figure it out. We better figure it out
Yeah.
because COVID is telling us something.
Mm. COVID and everything
And
else that's going on.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID is telling us that we need to get it together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to get it together. It's giving us time, a lot of time to
Mm-hmm.
think. And just when we think that somebody has figured out COVID, I'm not sure who Sam Chi is in our chat, but it has nothing to do with what it is that we're talking about today. Those are distractions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm letting our audience know the things that are being put in the chat today are distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
again, I'm telling you, don't get distracted.
yeah. And you know
Don't,
what?
don't get
Even that,
distracted.
there's a purpose in that to make it clear to us that every person who's in your space doesn't need to be in your space, and it's up to us to filter out the noise enough
Absolutely.
to stay on track.
Okay, giving you one more because you're talking to a Sunday school scholar here. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Wisdom is the principal thing. So what I'm going to tell you, this is not just trying to hawk tickets because I'll tell you, audience, don't get a dime from the women's forum.
mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm,
a state employee. I actually get paid from you all,
mm-hmm.
from the taxes.
Right, right.
Okay. This is a passion project. I'm
Mm,
working in my purpose. I'm
yeah.
working at what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm supposed to be encouraging you all. And that's exactly what I'm here. I'm overtime. I'm way overtime today. But
I'm
what
over
was on my
too.
heart and what I was waiting to exhale is just what I'm saying now. I
Mm-hmm.
I I with all my heart am going to try to get every last one of you all to come to the women's forum, to be a part of the forum. The tickets, I never mentioned the price, but I'm going to mention the price today. It's
Mm-hmm.
$50
Mm.
to come to the forum. You get a 3-day event. We are
Yeah.
talking about jobs. We are talking about the things that are important in this day and age for you all to elevate yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have recruiters there. We have coaches there. We have people to talk about budget and finance, among many, many other things. They are there for you. We don't, if we could be all there all week long, we could, but I don't have that much energy to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I, I have expanded for 3 days. I've worked for this event to be in this COVID period. If you don't have the money to do it, I'm encouraging you to write me. Tell me you don't have the money to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I will work with you. But
Mm-hmm.
I will also tell you you need to invest in yourself. You are your greatest commodity.
Yes.
If you
But you
don't
know,
know, I'm telling you now, you're your
Colette,
greatest commodity.
I just want to say, so, a lot of times when we hear things like there's an investment, we check ourselves out because we're like, oh, I don't have whatever the dollar amount is. And what you just did was remove the barrier. So if somebody's saying, I can't because I don't have, you just said, nope, don't let that be the thing that stops you. And sometimes that's what we need. Okay, the barrier's gone. Okay,
And we talked about that in Wednesday's platform. We talked
mm-hmm,
about are your excuses blocking you?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
Okay, I just gave you a pathway. Here's what I'm expecting. I should get a floodgate of some kind of emails.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Somebody should write me and tell me, what they would like to do or how they would like to do it. And I welcome that. And I typically,
And
unless
you
I get,
mean that.
get overwhelmed, I will answer you because
Mhm.
I want to see you there. So
Mhm.
here's what I'm going to do because I got to close out. I'm actually getting heated in what I got on. I'm sorry, folks, but I'm getting heated because I'm talking a lot here. So here's what I'm going to throw up some banners so that as reminders of things that's coming up. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m., we are on Facebook Live and YouTube. This coming Monday, let me see who I have. Who do I have? Look, woo! On this coming Monday, January 18th, we going to Zumba, y'all. Now, I'm asking, I can't see you all, and that's a good thing. I know that you all can see me, but I can't see you because I've not done Zumba. So while I'm looking forward to it, okay.
You're not really looking. It's
Okay.
hey, do
Now,
a practice one over the weekend so you can get your rhythm right.
that I'm gonna have to do something. And the good thing is I can't see you all. So when he says move to the left and I'm moving to the right, okay.
Look,
But
just do
we're gonna
what
do
you feel
Zumba
as
and
long as you're moving.
right, and that's what that and it's all about having fun. And we're still
Mhm.
focusing in on weight. So the exercise will get you moving. And then, what do I want to tell you? I want to tell you that in the month of February, we're going to focus in on the heart. And our heart are with Black businesses. It is Black History Month, and we're going to, throughout the power of social media, have 28 days of Black business celebration. And then,
Drum
in
roll.
March, do, 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 do. We're and some of us have the little church things going. Do, 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 do. The organ. Okay, we are going to focus on the Women's Leadership Forum. Now, most of the people who you're going to see going forward, you are going to see our facilitators and our participants in the forum. We have everything in the forum from workforce development all the way to a happy hour and internship programs. So some of you all who have kids in college who are looking for an internship program, they're going to want to tune in to us and to learn more about that program. Again, where can you find us? On the forward WLF.org website, and the hashtag is pound forward or hashtag. The old folks say pound. Okay, I'm one of them. Hashtag forward W. It was a pound before hashtag. Hashtag forward WLF. I had fun with you, Ericka. I hope that you have fun with me. We
I
always
do.
have fun.
Yes, we do. This was perfect, and I hope folks got a laugh to kind of release along with us. So thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this conversation with you on this amazing platform.
Yes. I can't do the Oprah thing. Oprah. Oh, we're not Oprah. Okay. Anyway, well, I had fun. I appreciate you. We got so far over the time limit, but that's what happens when you're talking to girlfriends. The time
Yeah,
does just
just
flit away.
fly.
I'm proud of you for all the things that you have done. Your life is fabulous. No matter what's going on in it, I want to let all the women out there know, yeah, you are the retail value and add some tax and some
Yeah,
changes, some chips and all of that.
all of
And
that.
where do I want to see you? I want to see you at the Women's Leadership Forum because I love you. God loves you. And we are peacing out today. How's that? How is that for the young folks? Peace out. Okay. I know somebody's gonna tell my son that I did that, but that's all right. I am who I
Yeah,
am, and I have no apologies. I
that's,
appreciate you. Thank you for
thank
being
you.
here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.